Love is what we are made of. It's raw energy. I felt it before. It's all made of love. It's just the energy is combined in a different way to create different particles, elements, physical matter. But matter is energy. Everything is energy eventually. So everything is love, literally, because it's a basic energy. It's a root energy. Everything is derived from it. If we could see the world from a higher dimension, it would look very different. We would see streams of energy dancing. It wouldn't look solid like this.
I'm asking myself how this concept is going to help us.
Just remember everything you touch, everything you see, everything you do, you're always surrounded by love, literally. So when you feel separated from love, it's just in your mind, because it's everywhere.
How are you feeling?
Ah, it makes me laugh.
Why?
Because I always knew it, but I forgot.
It's all in our mind. Separation is not really something real. It's just...
Because you identify with your body, because your ego mind is interpreting the world, decoding. All you see is perception from your senses, and it creates, it's like you're watching the movie of your own life. It's the way you decode the information. But what if everything you've been seeing is just not the only interpretation? So the ego mind decodes the world through the sensory inputs of the physical body, and here on earth it's designed for survival and competition, and this is the animal part of us. So when spirits come and incarnate here, they have to interface with the ego mind. He narrates all the framework, all of this. But when you develop spiritually, you start to realize this is not the higher reality, but it wouldn't make sense to see the true nature of reality if you're not prepared. It would be very scary. I think I had glimpses before when I've done shamanic retreats. So love is the only thing you can see, really, but you might be looking for it all your life. That's gorgeous. It's just a joke. mm, the thing some people spend all their life to look for is the only thing they've always seen. Like, you know what they say about fish? The last thing a fish sees is water, because they're surrounded by it. So love is available as energy, and it connects everyone together, is the life force, the chi or the prana. It is energy. It can harness through tantric practice, kundalini energy raising from the lower chakra to the higher chakra. The energy of creation, sexual energy, is derived from love. It's very powerful. It's been misunderstood and misused for all the stigma around sexuality. It's been repressed and vilified, but having sex is a sacred activity. It can help you connect to higher realms, because it's two people connecting together and sharing their energy. When you're having sex with someone, you have the physical level, what you see here, but in a higher dimension you're also connecting at an energetic level. If you connect deeply with a person, you can reach a state of bliss, which is a deep experience of love. So that's one of the ways you can use love energy, but there are many ways.
So, tantric energy and sexual energy.
Yeah, so there are many ways to do this love work, and that is one of the most powerful ones.
Is there any difference between tantric and sexual energy? Or is it like a synonym?
It's one of the techniques, I believe, but there are many different frameworks. It's a technique to raise energy.
What can we know more about this? What is it good for us to know?
If you harness your sexual energy, you can increase your vitality and life force. The alchemist used to say, this is how you can become immortal, if you know how to use that energy. Because this is raw energy. It's the energy of the physical world. The sexual energy is the strongest in 3D. It brings people together. It's as strong as the survival instinct. So if you learn the technique, you can improve all aspects of your life well-being of the body, mental focus, awareness, and a sense of happiness.
Can I ask more questions? Or do you want to just do?
Yeah, tell me.
I would like to know if is there any tantric energy that we are using during the quantum hug?
I see a loop of energy, because energy comes from lower chakras first, the roots, the sacral, which is where sexual energy comes in. It goes up to solar plexus and the heart. So when you send love energy, you also use energy from lower chakras, including sexual energy, and just many forms of love energy. So it is related, but pure raw love is different somehow. It's like raw love is the building block, and you have different flavors after. But yes, sexual energy is not only for having sex, it can be used for other purpose.
When you say that pure love, pure energy is different somehow, what do you mean? Is it tantric energy not part of God's energy?
I had the image of a triangle, so there might be different elements, different aspects of the same thing. If the base vibration is pure love, then you can have different forms of energy, of love energy, in different dimensions and environments. And so what we call sexual energy is one particular form of love energy that we have in 3D. It's linked to the survival instinct and physicality.
So we don't have sexual energy in 5D, for example? Or do we still have it?
I can feel the energy now in my sacral chakra. I think we still have energy centers, but we don't feel the same drive for reproduction. The perception is different.
You talk to me about pure love. How can you let me understand something more?
I see a wave of pink energy as the building block of the universe, the fundamental vibration. That's what we can use to connect every part of the universe together. Two people, for example, when they love each other, they have this connection beyond space and time. It's a direct connection.
Is this pure love?
Pure love is love energy without distortion. It's difficult for humans to achieve it because of all distortions they created, all the expectation they create from their partner, all the attachment to their relationships, all the fears, all the insecurities they have, and why they really seek a partner for safety, for physical well-being, financial prosperity. So no, what humans call love is not always pure love. Pure love is free, without attachment, Unconditional.
You say attachments, what do you mean?
It means that you don't try to own the other person. It's around possession, expectation. If you truly love someone, you're just happy in their company. If they leave, you'll still be happy. It's hard to understand in this world, but that's how it could be. The highest form of love is when you don't expect anything from your partner. It's a reason of so much suffering in relationships, and the expectation you place on your partner is what stops you from being truly happy. Because if you set conditions or expectations, you will be disappointed, and disappointment creates sadness. Sadness creates imbalance. Sadness can transmute to anger, and this is just fear and negative energy. It's a distortion from love. So you can start with love and end up with fear just because you can, with your free will. But nevertheless, you have corrupted the free, raw love from the beginning.
Well, it looks like everything starts with expectations, and from there things go in the wrong direction. Well, if you don't have any expectation, you just love without expecting anything from the other person, then this shouldn't happen. And I understand well.
Yes. If you could see this world from a higher dimension, everything is already perfect. Everything. So why would you change? Why would you want to change anything? But a desire to change is the ego craving for something to keep busy. Ego is fighting for its own survival, and it's to find excuses to be kept. Otherwise it will be silenced, not destroyed, because you need ego to live in this dimension and connect with the body. But if you listen too much to your ego, it will convince you of better things. It will create desires. You will project expectation, and inevitably you will be disappointed, which will frustrate you, which will make you unhappy.
Okay, so this is not just about love, it's in general about life.
Yes.
How can we think from our perspective that everything is perfect and nothing needs to be changed? It is so far away from what we can see.
I have seen it before during retreats using plant medicine. It's because you don't observe around you, from a flower to a mountain. Everything in nature was made perfect. Also the human body. If you look and if you observe, you will see, when you find the peace within you, you will feel it. But when you live in your head, you disconnect from your heart, and you listen to your ego mind, and you convince yourself there is better out there, then you will not see perfection, but whatever you hold in your consciousness will be true for your own experience of reality. This is why you can live in paradise or in hell, depending on your point of view, because it's all depending on your own perception. It takes time to understand that.
Going back to love, I would like to have some kind of practical, let's say, suggestions on how to love in a way that is more pure, and it maybe even examples, or if there is anything that we're not doing well in our lives.
If you think you need to improve, then you will never get there. You need to do your best, and it will happen naturally. When you love someone, when you love something, listen to the feeling in your heart. Don't listen to the mind. The mind can masquerade and deceive you in creating feelings. When you love without attachment, without expectation, when you are making yourself vulnerable to the other person, then this is love without condition, and the most powerful form of love. Otherwise you will have unbalances, emotional unbalance with your friend or partner, because you will create a fluctuation in the love energy. You will blend it with other energies created by your thoughts. If you truly love something, you do it for the mere enjoyment of doing it. When you truly love someone, you're not afraid to suffer. You just are in your heart. For many people at this moment, a strong friendship is the highest form of love, because so-called relationships create a lot of expectations. For example, getting married is signing a contract. It's a contradiction with free love, because you can't rule love with a contract. So, but even in friendships, some high and lows can be experienced, but being honest to each other will ensure you keep a strong and long-standing connection. But this is part of your plan. The Starseed group has gathered many people who had lives together before. This is all falling into place nicely, because all happens in perfection. So you all found each other to bring something to each other, to heal each other, to love each other, and you will recognize each other soul at some point.
So there is one thing that I'm not sure about, is about the fact that with some people it's easier to create strong connection and friendships, with other people it's not. And I'm asking myself, is this just a matter of having had past life together, or is it a matter of being at the same energy level, or what is it?
It's energy signature. Some people will resonate with you even when you first meet them. It will feel like you know each other for a long time, and some people will not. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Just spend time with people with who you resonate. But beware, some people you can't get along with. There are people who remind you of something you don't like about yourself, like a mirror image. It may be a sign that you need to work on that particular thing.
This makes sense to me. Can you tell me what is the energy signature?
Is the combined energies you carry in your energy field. It contains all your past experiences, your past lives, places you've been to, philosophies you've been believing in, traumas. All your experience combined creates a unique signature. And when you meet someone, you will be feeling attracted or repulsed from that energy. It doesn't mean it good or bad. It just means it's compatible with you.
So, you said a friendship at this moment in time for us is the easiest way of expressing the highest form of love, because there is no expectation in friendship.
For many people, it can be a very strong connection, yes. It's somehow easier for people to carry on friends for a long time, but lots of romantic relationships get very emotional, and even after living many years together, sometimes people can't reconcile their differences and they stop seeing each other completely.
Can I ask if the difference between friendship and romantic relationship is just in the fact that there is a different kind of commitment, and obviously the sex, okay? But I'm asking myself, is also a different kind of energy people exchange, or is it the same love, just with a different commitment?
It's part of the same spectrum of love. You can love your colleagues at work. You can love a child you see crossing the street for the first time. You can love your cat. You can love your husband. You can love a friend. But the intensity and the framework is what you define. The level of intimacy. For the most part, partners are people that live together and have sexual intercourse, and they are seen as a stronger form of love. But this is just how humans have been used to do it. People were not ready to accept that you can share sexual energy with several people and still be happy. This is like the polyamory concept. Humans feel very possessive over sexual partners because of the animal drive for reproduction and survival. This is a distortion because of 3D. This can be elevated in more advanced societies, and more people will choose this kind of flexible relationship in the future because times are changing, including for the model of relationships people want. Why insist on getting married when most couples will divorce anyway? It creates a lot of passion, then anger, frustration, distress. This could have been avoided if people are willing to accept that everybody is free to change their mind instead of taking an oath for life and having to break it. Some promises are not good being made. You don't have to make promises. But if you feel insecure, then you will want guarantees. Marriage is a form of guarantee. For women, they get safety and physical comfort and support, plus emotional affection. And men like the safety as well of having a sexual partner, but this resembles a contract, and the pure love without expectation means you shouldn't have to enter a contract to love someone.
When you are in a relationship, in a romantic relationship, even though there is no contract, written contract, you still have a commitment with the person, and so in some way you expect the other person to honor the commitment that you both have to each other, even though you're not married. Now, I'm not saying that the commitment is to stay together forever like a marriage contract would expect, but still there is a part of the cultural let's say there are expectations related with the culture.
Why?
The fact that you expect the other person to be with you and to look after you as you look after him.
Why do you need that?
If there is, in a relationship with a partner, because this is what we were talking about before. In a friendship, there is no expectation. You don't expect the other person.
There is, but it's less deeply rooted in your framework of relationship. So what expectation, what commitment do you have? Why do you have commitments?
In a romantic relationship, you are committed with your partner, and it doesn't matter if you're married or not.
In which way?
In many ways, from the fact that you don't have, you are expected not to have, for example, other relationships at the same moment. If you are in a monogamic relationship, for example, and not in a polyamor, to the fact that if one of the two is in need, the other person is expected to help. And I'm not talking about love, because of course if you love the other person, you help the other person. But what happens if the other person doesn't help you and you expect the other person to help you because it's your partner, isn't it?
That's why you will suffer.
Exactly, but how can you not expect your partner to help you if you're in need?
Just don't expect it. This is difficult.
It is.
This is why so much passion and suffering is derived from relationships. If your partner loves you, he will offer you support without you asking. But by having expectation, you create pressure, emotional pressure on your partner, and he will feel its subtle energy. People feel it, just like when you expect someone to do something for you. They will resist the pressure because they feel forced. And you're more likely to be disappointed if you expect something from someone rather than having no expectation and taking whatever comes along. This is all controlled by you. This is how you project your expectations in a relationship. For the sexual monogamy, this is the mainstream habit. It doesn't mean it works for everyone. The best arrangement is the arrangement that works for both partners. If it is not balanced, one partner will feel he or she has made a sacrifice to please the other, and then one day he will expect to have something in return for that dear sacrifice. And this creates a lot of imbalance, and years later you can hear reproaches from your partner because of what they perceive as a sacrifice they made, but you did not see it that way. So sacrifice for the other will result potentially in suffering, but this is easier said than done. If one partner wants an open relationship and the other one an exclusive relationship, what do you do? Can you compromise? Should someone give in? This is all part of the beauty of relationships, because you have to create it in your own way. This is an experiment for you and the other to get to know yourself better. This is why it's worth it. People think love should be kept private and precious like gold, but love is an unlimited resource, and the more you send, the more you receive. That's the one thing you shouldn't be stingy about. No one should. It's probably one of the most paradoxal things. This is that the more you give, the more you receive. So people should give a lot. Actually, when you close yourself from love, you stop giving it, and then you will stop receiving it. To start the machine again, you should start loving, and then you will be loved. But people expect love to come to them. They do not see they need to initiate first. more and more people will detach from their partners because they cannot follow them on their spiritual path. They will feel attracted by new type of people. Communities will be created. A lot of things are going to change, and it will feel so natural. It's gonna be beautiful.
Can I ask who is talking to us? Is a collective? What kind of collectives?
Earlier I got on the Jupiter planets. I don't know if that's where they are or where the Stargate is, and they send their energy.
So you are downloading information directly to your brain from some source?
No, they also help me repackage the information I already have. I speak of things I heard before, but I see it in a different way, and sometimes I've got new information from them as well, like the visions and some feelings.
Can you ask if they are connected with us, and what is their connection with us, apart from the one that we have established today?
I get that they're overseeing the transition on Earth, and they're offering help for people who are ready to listen.
So, will they be available other times if we come back and ask other questions?
Yes. I got a name, Annabelle. I don't know why.
Okay.
Annabelle.
Is Annabelle one of the persons that is helping us?
Yes, as part of the group.